Have you ever just stopped and wondered why some leaders, some organizations, are just so much more influential than others? I mean, they might have the same resources, the same talented people, but they manage to achieve things that seem to defy all the odds. It's a real puzzle, but you know what? Once you see the answer, it pretty much changes how you see the world.
I mean, really think about it. At the end of the day, Apple is just a computer company. There are lots of them. Martin Luther King Jr. was an incredible speaker, no doubt, but he wasn't the only powerful orator around at the time. And the Wright brothers? Man, they were competing against teams with way more funding and much better credentials. So, what was their secret? What did all of them have in common?
Well, it turns out there is a pattern. A leadership expert named Simon Sinek discovered that all of these inspiring leaders and organizations, they all think, act, and communicate in the exact same way. And get this, it's the complete opposite of how pretty much everyone else does it. He actually mapped out this pattern and gave it a name. He calls it the Golden Circle. And this simple idea, well, it explains why some people can inspire action while others just can't. It's made of 3 parts, so let's break them down. And we're going to start from the outside and work our way in. First up is the what. This is the clearest, most obvious layer. It's simply what you do, the products you sell, the services you provide. Every single company on the planet can easily tell you their what.
Okay, so moving one layer in, we get to the how. Now, some companies know their how. This is their unique process, their differentiating value proposition. It's what they believe makes them special or sets them apart from the competition.
And now we get to the very heart of it all, the why. And this is where it gets really interesting, because very, very few people or organizations can clearly articulate why they do what they do. And let's be super clear, this is not about making a profit. That's just a result. The why is the purpose, the cause, the belief. It's the very reason your organization even exists.
So here it is, the crucial point. Most of us communicate from the outside in. We start with the clearest thing, the what, and move to the fuzziest thing, the why. But great leaders and inspired organizations, every single one of them, they think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Now, what's truly fascinating is that this isn't just some clever communication trick. The Golden Circle actually lines up perfectly with the biology of our brains, and that's what gives this whole idea its real power. So check this out. Our newest brain, the neocortex, corresponds to that what level. It's the part that's responsible for all our rational, analytical thought and language. But the middle sections, our limbic brains, they're responsible for our feelings, trust, loyalty. That part of the brain drives all human behavior and decision-making. But, and here's the kicker, it has no capacity for language. This is literally where gut feelings come from. So when we communicate starting with the why, we're talking directly to the part of the brain that makes decisions. This biological connection has huge implications for how we connect with people. Let's take a look at Apple, the classic example, to see exactly how this works in the real world. Okay, so if Apple communicated like most companies, starting with what, their marketing message would probably sound something like this. It's a perfectly reasonable pitch, right? It's clear, it's descriptive, but it's completely uninspiring, isn't it? It doesn't really move you to do anything. Now, here's how Apple actually communicates. They start with their why. They tell you what they believe. And this just brilliantly shows the difference. It feels completely different, doesn't it? All of a sudden, you're not just buying a computer. You're buying into a belief. All they did was reverse the order of the information. And it proves this fundamental truth. This is the core takeaway of this entire idea. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. The what just serves as the tangible proof of the why. And this understanding leads to a really powerful shift in perspective. The goal is no longer to just sell to people who need what you have. It's to sell to people who believe what you believe. It's about building a loyalty that goes way beyond price and features. It's how you turn customers into a community, into advocates. Internally, it creates passionate employees because they're working for a cause, not just a paycheck. This is how you build a movement. Now look, the Golden Circle is an incredibly influential idea, but it's not without its critics. So to get the full picture, let's explore some of the common arguments against it. So critics usually point out a few key things. First, the theory is mostly based on these compelling anecdotes, like Apple, rather than a lot of broad empirical data. Second, it might overestimate how much deep, purpose-driven thought goes into everyday purchases. I mean, sometimes we buy things just because they're convenient. And finally, some argue it's an extreme simplification of the super complex reality of running a successful business. So, while it may not be a rigid scientific law, its value is absolutely undeniable. Maybe the best way to think about the Golden Circle is like a compass. It's a powerful guide to help you focus on what truly matters, to align your actions with your beliefs, and to articulate a vision that genuinely inspires people.
And that brings us to the final and probably most important question, the one that turns this entire concept back around to you. Whether you're leading a company, a team, or just your own life, it all starts with this. So, what's your why?